Hello everyone. You must have studied a number of psychological theories. Today, we are going to understand a new theory known as the ecological theory. This ecological theory has been founded by Yuri Bronfenbrenner. Who is this Yuri Bronfenbrenner? Yuri Bronfenbrenner was a Russian-born American developmental psychologist who studied how multiple environments influence the child development. We know that the child has so many various environments around him, and each of these environments influence the child, and that helps in developing the personality of the child and also has an effect on the behavior of the child. He's talked about 5 systems in the environment. Which are these systems? They are the microsystem, the mesosystem, the exosystem, the macrosystem, and the chronosystem. Let us understand each of these systems one by one. The microsystem. The microsystem is the direct environment we have in our lives. The family, the friends, the classmates, the teachers, the neighbors, and the other people who have direct contact with the child. A child born in a poor family has a different environment around him. A child born in a rich family will have a different environment. A child who is a single child, he will be being brought up in a different manner. So in this way, the microsystem affects the child. Second is the mesosystem. The mesosystem involves a relationship between the microsystems. As I said, family, friends, neighborhoods are there in the microsystem. But at the same time, the mesosystem is how is the interaction between the neighbors and the household people? How is the interaction between the school and the family? So, same thing, if a child is not neglected in a family, very strict parents are there. He tries to feel that all elders around him are the same and he will behave in the same way with fear with the teachers too. This is the mesosystem. The third is the exosystem. Exosystem is the indirect environment that affects the child. For example, the child may not be in contact with the parents' workplace, but the parents' long working hours, then the parents, how the work environment affects the parents, same way will affect the child because when the parent will interact with the child. The macro system. What is a macro system? It is where it is the actual culture in an individual. We are born in different cultures. Different laws and rules are there when you are born in different religions too. There are certain religious beliefs that shape the society. So same way, a child born in a particular culture is brought up that way and that also affects the child. So his thinking, his behavior is the same. In a similar manner, he tries to behave. The chronosystem. This may also involve the socio-historical context that influence the child. What are these socio-historical contexts? Whatever happening in the society. For example, just some 5 years ago, we were all with COVID, affected by COVID. What happened during COVID? During the COVID, the children suffered also a lot along with the families. There were loss of jobs due to COVID. There were so many issues that affected the child. So any historical context, war-like situation can affect the child, which happens in the environment. So this is the chronosystem. So this is a diagram which is you can see about this is a student as well as a child and how the systems are there. The microsystem, the mesosystem, the exosystem, the macrosystem, and here outside is the chronosystem. So all these systems affect the child in some way or the other. And that is what Yuri Bronfenbrenner tried to explain to us. Now, let me see if you have followed. Look at this. These are some questions where one you have to answer. A pandemic affects school routines. Which is the system? Yes, it is the chrono system. Your teacher talks to your parents about your grades. What is that system? Yes, it is the meso system. Your parents work late and is tired at home. Yes, it is the exo system. Your family teaches you cultural traditions. Which is this? Macro system. And you play with your best friend after school. Which kind of system is this? Yes, this is the microsystem. So all these systems, somewhere or the other, they affect the child. And the child is continuously, the environment has an impact on the child. That is why teachers should understand about the family of the child. Who is the family? What is the culture of the child? Has the child gone through certain issues? If he is come from some another place, state, from some refugee area. So it's not the work of the teacher just to go and teach whatever is in the book in the class. But a teacher should see that the child is being brought up in the right manner. The teacher's role as a guide becomes very, very important, because sometimes the teacher needs to be counseled too. So it becomes very, very important for us to understand these systems in a proper manner, and also the child. So like we have learned so many theories, like the Piaget's cognitive development, Kohlberg's moral development. We have studied about Vygotsky's theory, about how social and language and culture affects a child. But this is one theory which talks about how ecologically the ecology, that is the environment of the child, affects the child. I would like to give you one homework after the evaluation. Which system do you think among the five affects the child the most, and why? So just think about it and reflect. And yes, be a good teacher and understand the child better, from which environment the child lives in. Thank you so much. Happy learning.